Welcome to the Mirador Beginner's Guide. This guide is going to be kept intentionally short to teach you the basics of adventuring in Mirador without spoiling the content or stopping you from discovering what the game has to offer. If you'd like, you can also join us on the Discord to get help or just chat at discord.gg/Mirador. It's important to get into Mirador knowing that it's not an easy game. You're not likely to defeat your first few Sentinels on the first few tries. Don't be frustrated by these defeats. Instead, try to learn from them. Pay attention to the Sentinels' animations and try to learn to predict which ability or attack is coming and how to avoid it. Every time you defeat a Sentinel, you're going to get loot. You can open your loot bag by pressing I on a keyboard or select on a controller. Your loot bag is not your inventory. It only shows you the loot that you found on this run. If you're defeated by a Sentinel or willingly leave the game or return to the Citadel, you're going to lose some of your loot that you found so far. In your loot bag, the red items have been lost due to defeat or leaving early. You will keep all of your loot, however, if you leave at the Obsidian Gate zone without opening the next portal. So after defeating a certain number of Sentinels, you're going to reach the Obsidian Gate. There's a chest over there you can open to get extra loot. You'll also be healed and get your full potion charges. And if you have any co-op buddies that were downed, they will be respawned. At that point, you have two choices. Either open the portal and continue on to the next, more challenging set of Sentinels to try and get better loot, but risk losing some of your current loot if you are defeated. Or don't open the portal, don't risk it, you keep all the loot that you found so far, and you return to the Citadel. You can do that by interacting with the recall stone near the waterfall on the right-hand side. With the loot you found, you can create your own Sentinel and deploy it to combat other players and also gather some loot for you. To begin, interact with the door at the bottom of the stairs in the Citadel and select a free slot in your Sentinel workshop, then click Select. If you don't have a frame, you'll get an error at this point. You can find frame items called Knight like any other loot. The first section, Frame and Armor, is going to allow you to customize the outside look of your Sentinel with cosmetic pieces of armor, accessories, and decals you've found. You can move on to the next section by clicking on the button at the top right of the screen or right button on a controller. The Materials section will allow you to change the colors of your Sentinel. And the third section, Weapons and Abilities, will allow you to select the weapon, circuit, and spells socketed into the circuit. So circuits will dictate the behavior of your Sentinels. The Sentinel's behavior will begin at the white circle over here and follow the arrows onto the next sockets. White squares are weapon strikes and will vary depending on the weapon you've given to your Sentinel. Colored diamonds are spell sockets into which you must socket a spell item that you found during your adventures. Green sockets can only hold basic spells, blue sockets can hold basic and advanced spells, and purple sockets can hold basic, advanced, and superior spells. Some circuits have different thresholds, represented by these large circles containing sockets. Your Sentinel will switch from one threshold to the other when its health reaches a certain level. Finally, the overview will allow you to preview the items you've socketed into your Sentinels and will allow you to save your Sentinel. It might be tempting at this point to click deploy, but before you do that, you should skirmish your Sentinel, which will allow you to fight against it and test out its behavior. If you don't like how it plays out, you can go back into the Sentinel workshop and edit your Sentinel. Once you're satisfied with your Sentinel, at that point you should deploy it, but keep in mind that deploying a Sentinel will permanently consume the items that you've equipped it with, and that later on, dismantling a Sentinel will not return these items. You can inspect a deployed Sentinel to gather any loot that it has gathered so far. You can dash as often as you like, as long as you have charges. The charges are represented by blue diamonds above the dash icon at the bottom of your screen. Charges will generate over time, but certain Sentinel abilities can stop your charges from regenerating or even drain them. You can quickly attack a Sentinel repeatedly for a burst of small damage, but you can also hold the attack key longer and release it for a strong attack that deals more damage. Strong attacks will generate more DPS if timed properly. The downside to them is that you can't dash until you release the button and complete the attack. The boomerang is a ranged weapon that deals moderate damage to Sentinels. It's particularly useful when it's impossible or too risky to approach a Sentinel from melee attacks. Blocking with the shield will help you avoid damage from certain attacks without the need to dash. As long as you have at least one charge, you can block certain attacks. Some of them can't be blocked, such as Secret Charge or the red laser spells. When you block an attack, depending on which attack it is, you will lose certain shield charges, represented by the red diamonds above the block icon at the bottom of your screen. Shield charges will regenerate over time. If an attack depletes all of your charges, you're going to be momentarily stunned and you will no longer be able to block until all charges have replenished again. Using a healing charge will fully replenish your health, but you will be unable to move or attack while healing. Defeating a Sentinel will regain one healing charge, and reaching an Obsidian Gate will heal you fully and replenish all of your healing charges. You can fight Sentinels in co-op if you'd like to. To invite a friend, make sure you're both in the Citadel, and then interact with the dog on the left-hand side of the open portal pedestal, then click invite next to their name. When they accept your invitation, their name will show up at the top left of your screen. If you want to try matchmaking and play with a stranger, interact with the crow on the right side of the open portal pedestal, and then enter the portal. It'll try to find an available stranger to put you with, but if it doesn't find any after 15 seconds, you will begin your adventure in solo instead. If you are defeated in co-op, you will turn into a hologram and can follow your ally around but can't help. If you reach the next Obsidian Gate, you will be brought back into your physical form and you'll be able to fight again. That should be enough information to get you started in Mirador. Good luck out there, have fun, and remember, if you need any more help, join us on the Discord at discord.gg/Mirador.